Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome back to Daniellability. I posted on Instagram and asked if you guys had any questions for me and thought I would do a Q&A today. And I got some great questions back, so I thought I would go ahead and answer those. And hopefully through that you'll learn a little bit more about me and some things that I've done in my life and things like that. So let's get started. The first question that I got is, what is the thing in your life that you've done or accomplished that you're the most proud of? And I think probably the thing I've done that I'm the most proud of is I did a 3-month internship in Washington, D.C. when I was a junior in college. And the internship itself I learned a lot from, but the thing that I'm the most proud of is I went to D.C. by myself. I didn't know anybody else there, and I didn't know who I was going to be living with and how I was going to navigate the city and all of that. And I feel like I really learned a lot while I was there just about myself, and I grew up a lot while I was there. I also just feel like I gained a lot of confidence in myself while I was there. I learned how to navigate the city using the metro, and just a lot of things happened while I was there that really formed who I became as an adult. And feeling the support of my family while I was there and them encouraging me to do that was huge, because it just really made me feel like I was capable and to not be afraid of new experiences and going places by myself. And since then I've gone on vacations by myself and that kind of thing. So that was a really big experience for me. The next question that I got is, what's my next dream in life? And this is a fun question because right now I kind of feel like my life could take a lot of different turns and that kind of thing. I have a lot of different things that I'm interested in and that I'm doing. So obviously being on YouTube is something that I'm really excited about, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do a lot more with my YouTube channel. I would love to eventually do product reviews and maybe even go different places to see how accessible they are, whether that's another country or a city or a specific place, whether that's a hotel or a restaurant or whatever, just to show people different levels of accessibility and that kind of thing. I think that would be really fun to do that kind of thing. So the thing that's great about the YouTube channel is it is so broad, and there's so much that I eventually would love to cover and show you guys and experience and be able to share that. So being on here is one of my big dreams of what's next. Another thing is I'm also an artist, and I'll actually put a link to my website in the description below so that you guys can check out my artwork if you're interested. One of my big dreams would be to illustrate a children's book. I'm obsessed with children's books. I have been since I was a kid. So having the opportunity to do something like that would be really amazing. I also am super into paper dolls and coloring books. So having the opportunity to hopefully publish something along those lines would be really awesome. The other thing that I'm really passionate about and really interested in is fashion. So I would love to get into that world of potentially modeling or somehow collaborating with a designer on an adaptive line or something like that would be really amazing. I think those are probably the 3 things that I hope and dream for myself. And that kind of goes into the next question, which is, why did you choose to start a YouTube channel? And there's a lot of different answers for that question. The first is that I've noticed a big lack of YouTube stars or whatever who have a disability. So I've looked for YouTube channels to follow that show what other people with disabilities do, how they function, how they do different things, how they navigate their house and things like that. And it's been really hard to find. Just in general, there's not a whole lot of information out there for people with disabilities. And so I hope to be that for people and bring that information and that awareness to YouTube and hopefully beyond YouTube. And then also, I think people have a lot of questions about what life is like with a disability, but they're afraid to ask questions because they don't want to be offensive or ask the wrong thing. And so I want to open up those conversations and have those conversations so that people don't have to be embarrassed and they can have those questions answered, maybe without even having to ask them, but the information is there for them if they look for it. I also really want to motivate people who have disabilities to live life to the fullest and to not let their disability hold them back or keep them from pursuing their dreams and trying things. So that's something that I hope to accomplish with this channel. And for parents who have kids with disabilities, show them that their kid can be successful and can do tons of things, and that their disability doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be just a diagnosis. It's just a part of who they are. And so, yeah, I think that's what I hope to accomplish, is just open up the conversation and the awareness around what life is like with a disability. The next question that I got asked is, what is my favorite book right now? There are 3 books that will always be my top favorites no matter what else I read, and those are Les Miserables, The Count of Monte Cristo, and Mere Christianity. I'm a sucker for classical literature. I love old books, and I just love the stories, especially in Les Miserables. It's one of my all-time favorite stories. It's a super long, so if it's intimidating to you, even though I would highly, highly recommend reading it, an audiobook would also be a great way to read that or listen to it or whatever. But I highly recommend it if you haven't read it. It's such a good story. And then as far as a current book that I am reading and super into right now, I actually just got this one yesterday, which I'm super excited about. I'm a huge E.H. Shepard fan, and like I said, I'm an artist, so anything having to do with artists or illustrators or children's books, I'm totally obsessed with. So that's the one that I'm super excited about right now. The next question that I got asked is, where did I get my glasses? And I got them from Zenny Optical, which this is not a sponsored ad in any way, but it should be because I'm obsessed with them. They have super cheap glasses. You just give them your prescription and then they have tons of different options. So yeah, I got like 3 different pairs of glasses for 50 bucks, which is amazing. So if you wear glasses, you know that that's super cheap compared to what they usually are. So if Zenny Optical is watching and wants to send me glasses to review, I would totally do that. And the last question I got asked is if I could share a little bit about my education and how that may have been different from other people and what that looked like. So I was actually homeschooled up until high school. And that was actually simply because the school in my hometown didn't offer a great education. And so my parents felt that I would get a better education at home. I'm actually really thankful that I had those first years at home because it allowed me to spend that time with my family, which I really appreciate. I feel like it made me closer with my siblings. And it also prevented me from being in school in middle school, which I feel like is a lot of times when kids get bullied for being different or unique or whatever. And so I didn't have to deal with any of that. I never have really dealt with bullying or anything like that. And I think a big reason is because I wasn't in a school at the time when a lot of kids are bullied. In high school, I went to a private school. It was a college prep school. And I'm really thankful that I had both the experience of being homeschooled and then going to school, because my formative years were spent at home, but then going to high school gave me experience in the real world and helped me to figure out how to navigate. And my parents left it up to me when I got to high school whether I wanted to go to school or stay at home all the way through. But my older brother and my sister had both decided to go back to high school. So part of it obviously was I wanted to be like them, and so I went back. But then I'm also really thankful that I made that decision because I think it ended up being better for me. When I graduated from high school, I actually went to college down in South Carolina. I didn't know anybody at the school that I went to, but I knew that I wanted to go to school in the South because it would allow me to be very independent and not have to worry about snow and, getting to classes in bad weather like we have in Ohio in the winter. So I knew I wanted to go to school in the South, and I knew that I wanted to go to school where there was a good art program. And the school that I ended up at was a small private school, and they had a great art program. So I got my BA in art with a concentration in drawing and painting. And as I mentioned, while I was there, I also did an internship in Washington, D.C. So yeah, I'm really happy with the education that I got. So that's a little bit about me, and hopefully that answers all of your questions, and I hope you found it interesting. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.